I'm sure you have heard the name Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. And rightfully so, these two gentlemen, if I may call them that, probably engineered one of the biggest frauds in modern India. And whom did they end up defrauding? The Punjab National Bank itself. What kind of a crafty mindset does a person require to defraud a public sector bank? Naturally, people on the other side also were involved in multiple capacities. This scam came to light somewhere in the month of January 2018 when Punjab National Bank approached the Central Bureau of Investigation to dive deeper into this matter. The fraud and its modus operandi were particularly straightforward in my opinion. What Nirav Modi, okay, you should know a little about this man himself. He is a third generation diamond merchant. He was raised in the city of Antwerp, and I'm sure all of you know that Antwerp in many ways is the diamond capital of the world. He was a third generation businessman dealing in diamonds, and he had dropped out of Wharton School and he had joined his uncle's business. I mean, he had good pedigree and everything going in for him before he decided that okay, that was not enough and he needed to make more money and he needed to make that money fast enough. And this is where the problem started. It was a very simple instrument known as a letter of undertaking or a letter of credit sometimes as we call it, that was used in order to defraud the banks. You know how a letter of undertaking works? Say for example, I am an importer and I am buying, say for example, something like sneakers from the United States of America. Each pair of sneakers is worth say 20,000 Indian rupees and I buy 200 such pairs. Now, I am a person with a good financial standing. I am a credit worthy person. So I approach a bank and I get into an arrangement with the bank wherein the bank promises to pay my supplier should I fail to make the payment. Now, in this case, if I don't make the payment, the bank which has issued this letter of credit or letter of undertaking on my behalf will have to make the payment to the supplier. Now, normally, these letter of credits are usually issued only in favor of those parties which are financially strong and which have a good history, a reputable history of making all payments on time. Your credit worthiness is checked before such a facility is given to you. And even after such facility is given to you, there are limits. It's not a blanket facility given by the bank. It depends on your payment and repayment capacity, your assets, and what all collaterals can you provide in a certain sense basically. In Nirav Modi's case, what happened was an order was put across for importing certain diamonds and other precious stones, and there was a letter of credit that was issued by Punjab National Bank. I think that letter of credit was to the tune of 800 crores. Now, when the payment due date came, Nirav Modi, of course, did not make the payment and the bank had to step in. Now, naturally, when such an event occurs, it triggers certain consequences. No further letter of credit can be or should be issued to this particular merchant, and the entire credit machinery has to stop. But what happened was, Nirav Modi had a couple of accomplices within Punjab National Bank. These were fairly junior employees, so nobody could suspect that they would be involved in a fraud of this size. Now, even after the first default happened, the traders kept on getting the same facility from on multiple counts from Punjab National Bank, when in fact the bank should have immediately stopped extending any further credit and attached the assets of this particular person, who by the way now is a fugitive. He is on the run. That did not happen, and before the bank officials knew, the extent of fraud had gone up so much that by the time they uncovered and unearthed all the secrets, the amount of fraud was 11,000 crores. Imagine a public sector bank literally getting robbed to that extent. Now, Mr. Modi and his uncle, of course, they fled from the country, and right now, of course, Nirav Modi has been imprisoned, and this was not the only fraud that he was accused of. There were multiple other counts on which he had committed similar or bigger frauds. Usually what happens in case of such individuals, such fraudsters, is that they are serial offenders, because when one illegal activity is not found, it kind of builds their confidence that if an 800 crore fraud has not been found out, the uh, it it emboldens them, it gives them that additional sense of confidence that they can continue to do these things and people will be none the wiser. The point is, it always ends up getting exposed because of an inadvertent mistake made by these individuals, or maybe because they got ahead of themselves. Now, if a bank like Punjab National Bank can be susceptible to such frauds, imagine what can happen to a common man like you and me if we do not pay enough attention and if we are not financially wise. More such scams we will continue to discuss on our YouTube channel. Please follow us and like and share this video.